Hey right guys, Trish Punter's Joe here, and today we are watching and reacting to episode 1 of One Tree Hill Season 6. We have, 3 seasons left of this show, I believe? Maybe 4? I think it's 9 seasons, yeah, 3 or 4. It's still a lot, but we're kind of at over the halfway point, I mean we already have been. But it's getting there. It's kind of getting there. You feel it, I'm feeling it a little bit. I feel like when we've finished this season, we'll be on like the final stretch of One Tree Hill. As much as I don't want this show to end, but season 5 definitely the weakest of the shows so far. I would say was weaker than season 2. So we will of course be doing a little bit of a Q&A. We have 10 questions here, some with multiple questions in one question. So we're going to run through those very quickly. Thank you to everyone who asked a question over on Patreon. If you do want to ask any questions for Season 7, Episode 1, for my thoughts on Season 6, or just the show of One Tree Hill as a whole, then you only have to be a $1 patron. And that's for asking questions on every show that I do as well. Which I've started doing at the premiere of every season of a show. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to do. And then we'll of course do the tier list as well. We'll go through every single character. I figured that there's like 17 characters this season for season 5, so there's a lot of characters to get through, more than usual I think, but we'll try to make it fairly quick, and then we'll jump into the first episode of season 6. So yeah, we'll just go on with the questions very quickly. Mariah asks, what are your season 6 predictions? Who is your favourite character this season? Which storyline was your favourite and least favourite? And then least favourite character. So my favourite character and least favourite character we will obviously get to in the tier list. So I will ignore those for now. I think I know who my least favourite character was and who my favourite was, but we'll mention it in the tier list. Season 6 predictions. I was speaking about this with my dad earlier actually. I reckon Nathan's going to get back into basketball with a shot at going at the NBA. I think he's going to rekindle that dream because we've had a whole season of him losing that dream. So I think it's going to be more of getting back to where he was, while alongside maybe forming a bit more of a bond with Dan. I don't think Dan's just going to give up. You know, he might do, but I don't think so. So I'm assuming Dan's going to still want that bond with Nathan. I don't think Lucas is ever going to give Dan the time of day. If he does, I'd be surprised, just because of the magnitude of what Dan actually did. I think that'll be fine, him getting ran over and stuff. I don't buy Dan dying or anything like that. He'll probably be in hospital for maybe like 4 episodes or something like that, but he'll be fine. I think Rachel's going to come back. I think Chase is going to come back. I think Victoria's going to come back. I don't know about Karen. We need to get a mention of Whitey for what's going on with him, because he just disappeared. I think Lucas has called Peyton at the end of the last episode to get married, so they're going to rekindle their romance. Hayley's going to follow her music career. I hope that Maleficent is still in the show, because I think Mouth has an actual decent storyline going on here. And like I said, the last 3 episodes, Mouth was actually okay. So I hope they continued that relationship with Mouth. And Skills and Deb, please. If we can get more Skills and Deb, I'd love that. So they're my predictions. Maybe more so my hopes, but that's my predictions. Which storyline was your favourite and least favourite? My favourite was, I think, the babysitter storyline, really. / Dan coming back to Tree Hill and like Nathan standing his ground with not budging on letting him be a part of Jamie's life, I think was really good as well. So basically most stuff to do with Nathan and Hayley and Dan I think was really strong. Least favourite, Lucas and Peyton, their romance, just awful, really bad. Put me off both of their characters, actually, so good job. But thank you for your questions. Mariah, Mary asks, who do you think Lucas called in the season 5 finale? Like I said, Peyton, just because Brooke makes 0 sense. They've had no romance or romantic connection for like, what, a whole season and a half now? 2 seasons? I know they tried to go on like a little bit of a date maybe in season 4, but not date, I don't know what that was, but yeah, that's not happening. No. Lindsay is just going to be borderline stalker now if he just calls Lindsay up and tries to get her to marry him. So the obvious answer, I think, is Peyton. But I think she'll say no. She turned down already, but come on, what you're going to say yes and go randomly get married? I don't know what the plan is there. That felt kind of forced in, but thanks for your question, Mary. Maybe it's someone else. completely different. Maybe it's Hayley. I don't know. Imagine. Gabby asks two questions. What character do you want to see more scenes / storylines of? I think Skills would be really nice. I always say this at the start of like the last two seasons, I think, with Skills, but I don't actually need these in, I've realised. But I always hope that Skills kind of has something, and they do give him something, like he's the coach now, and then he maybe has a romance with Deb, which I hope to see more of. But I just feel like it's never enough. It's never enough, because then we just get loads of mouth, and it's like really sad. So I'm gonna go. I'll try and mix it up and not say Skills. I'm gonna say Hayley. Might be a surprise to some people because she does have a lot of storyline, but I feel like her personal storyline is just more of the same. I don't want season 6 to just be Hayley. Like, you're going to get the romance of her and Nathan, as you always do, that's great. But I don't want it to just be like her making songs. As good as that is, I feel like that works for Nathan, but I feel like Hayley could have maybe more. I don't know what that could be. So, but it's not my job to find out. So, I don't know. I just feel like Hayley could have a bit more to do then. Because I felt like she was really good. Well, she's really good the whole season, but the storyline of her and Nathan kind of butting heads at the start of not butting heads, but her not putting up with this shit at the start of the season was really interesting, and we just kind of got over it very quickly. Like 3 eps in, he was like, okay, I've cut my hair and all this now, and we're back to, classic Nathan, which is nice, but I felt like we could have lingered on certain things with Hayley a little bit longer, so I'm going to say Hayley and Rachel. I want more Rachel. Get Rachel back in. Actually, I didn't realise how much I've actually missed Rachel. I didn't even put her in the tier list. Same with like Whitey and Chase, because they were just in it too little amount to make a comparison on them. And then Gabby asks, this isn't a question but a warning. I'm scared for you to watch this season. What the fuck does that mean, Gabby? What the fuck? Now I'm scared. I was fine. Now I'm scared. What do you mean? I'm scared for you to watch this season. Do you know how many comments I've had on Patreon? And even like some YouTube comments already, even though YouTube, as of recording this, are like not even halfway through season 4. The amount of people that are telling me season 6 is the best season of the show. What could it be? I feel like this is going to be a banger of a season. I don't know why. I've got a vibe. Just because of comments. And then I could be wrong, but I feel like maybe when season 5 aired, it maybe got called out as being a weak season. So I'm feeling like they maybe knew that season 6 had to be a big step up. I've got a good vibe about season 6. And you saying that, I like it. I like that. Scared for me to watch it. I'll say this, if Dan dies, I'm actually not going to... I've said it before, I will refuse to watch more One Tree Hill if Dan dies. He's too good. But it'd be like that of any character. If Hayley died, I'd be devastated. I'm talking like this is like Game of Thrones or something, but yeah, I'm very intrigued by season 6. A lot of people have hyped it up. Austin asks, what is your favourite season of One Tree Hill so far? Season 4. Season 3... I keep changing my mind, and this depends on how I feel. I feel like season 3 had the better storylines, but I feel like season 4 was more entertaining. And we always go off entertainment on this channel based on our ratings, so I'm going to say season 4. I said season 3 at the end of the last episode. I'm changing my mind at the moment. Season 4. Heather asks, assuming season 6 factors in the storylines of season 5, what storylines / developments are you hoping to see in season 6 with the main characters? I kind of said that in the first comment, but more with Dan and his bond with Nathan. I'm not saying they need to get back to being like father and son, like best of mates kind of thing, but I just want more scenes of them two interacting. Hayley and Dan as well, those two interacting would be quite cool. I'm just basing everything off Dan. Like I said, more Hayley following her music career for sure, but just more than that would be really good. Deb and Skills, yes, all day. I'm there for that. That could be great. We'll see. It could be awful, but I'm here for it. Mouth and Maleficent, I'll take that. Yeah, give us more than that. I feel like Mouth's going to propose to her. I'm calling a proposal towards the end of the season. If she's still in the show, she might not be. because we know what teen dramas are like, with just cutting characters out randomly. Bring Rachel back. They'll probably have Victoria back in at some point for sure. Like I say, mention of White would be nice. Lucas, I just want more Lucas being a coach. That's Lucas at his best, I feel, when he's being a coach. I know we're going to realistically get more of his romance, but they're going to have to do some drastic changes with that to get me back into being interested in Lucas and Peyton. That's for damn sure. So we'll see. And Heather also asks, is your tier rankings based on the recent season, or is it overall? If just the season, is the overall ranking different? Yeah, good question, because people get confused about this, like thinking, oh, you said this character is your favourite, but this is more so on YouTube than Patreon. You said this character is your favourite, but in this episode of this season, you said this person was your favourite. What's changed and all that? Every time I do a tier list at the start of an episode, it is solely based on the season I've just watched. That is all. So it changes per season. Then when I haven't done this yet because I've only started doing this tier list thing at the start of a season recently, probably in the last 6 months or something. Then my plan is whenever I finish a show, I will do an overall ranking of every character. It's different for shows that are airing currently, so Heartstopper, Stranger Things, Euphoria, for example. I always do a tier list separately from a video. They'll have their own video just to the tier list, because you're waiting 3 or 1, 2 or 3 or even 3 years sometimes, for the next season, so it makes sense to just kind of get it out there on a video. Whereas One Tree Hill and Friends and every other show that I do, we're just constantly running through it until we finish it. So it's nice to get kind of touch base, talk about how it felt about the characters at the end of the season, and then compare them. I like comparing as well, which we're going to do in this tier list. Kind of look back at the ranking from the first episode of season 5, sorry, but based on the character. It's kind of weird how to do it. Technically, I should do a tier list at the end of each season, not at the start of each season. But whenever I finish an episode, I like to sit there and digest the season, and then think about it, and then come back to doing the tier list. So that's when I get around to. But for me, it makes more sense video-wise to do it at the end of a season. But for me, and thinking about characters and stuff, it makes more sense to do it at the start of a season. So, yeah. And then, like I said, when we finish the final season of One Tree Hill, we will do an ultimate 50 characters of One Tree Hill. Get everyone in there, like Tim from season 1. We'll have everyone, like Keith. We can have him back in there and stuff. Obviously, we're not going to have Keith in the tier list going forward, but then we can do an ultimate one. Same with Friends, we'll do the ultimate Friends one, so that makes sense. And that is where I'll talk about the characters, how I see them overall instead of season by season. So, because you look at season 2 of One Tree Hill, Hayley would be down towards the bottom based on season 2, but then every other season she's basically at the top because she's amazing. But season 2, not great. So yeah, good question. Nadja asks, I know you're a big fan of Skills, in brackets, as am I. Good, we like that. And want him to have bigger storylines. What do you think would be a fun storyline for him, and who would you like to see him in a relationship with? Okay, relationship, Deb, obviously. Bro, this storyline, if they continue with it, what I don't want is for them to just start the season and then Skills is Skills is dead would be the worst possible example, but I don't want them to just be like, oh yeah, that was a summer fling and we're not talking about that anymore. It's kind of they get over it. But so I want them to actually make it a storyline. It could be awful, but it could be so good. It could be so good, bro. I'm excited for it, depending on what they do. So yeah, that's what I want to see. As for a storyline, I've said it before, but we just need to see more of his home life. I love the idea of Skills kind of being the comedic relief a little bit when he's with Lucas, and he's always putting on his happy face, because we never really see Skills that down. We did a couple of times in season 5, and then you kind of see him back at his home life and say he has a really bad relationship with his dad or something, or really bad relationship with his mum, or he's got siblings, and just seeing more of his home life. I think that could be really interesting, but they're not going to do it. I know they're not going to do it because they mistreat Skills. The episode of him just talking about he's got a job waiting for him at a factory where his dad waits. His dad waits for him with his arms crossed, where his dad works and is you know, that's his future if he doesn't get into the school. That was so good, and he's kind of like more touching on what could be happening in his home life. Like he's already got his job ready for him, and he's not looking forward to it because he sees his dad working like in the same job for year after year after year, and it's kind of like, you know, your life just goes by. That could be like quite an interesting concept. I know we're far past that now because they did the 4 or 5 year time skip or whatever, but I don't know. It could be more. I feel like Skills is just such an underused character. I don't know. I love him. I mean, you're going to see how much I love him when we do the tier list, but yeah, it's unfortunate sometimes because I do feel like they do use him a lot as just like the comedic relief. I think they've gotten better with Skills as each season goes on. He gets more and more and more, which I do like, because season 1 and 2, he was just like the comedic relief. He'd just pop it. Season 1, he was like barely existent. He'd just pop in like one scene every 5 eps and just say a funny line or two. You know, be the black guy of the show, because that's literally, I think, other than Quentin, he's like the only black character we've had, which is ridiculous. But so in that sense, I'm like glad they've given him more, but it still doesn't feel like enough. But like I said, they are doing better with Skills than they did in previous seasons, so that's something, I guess. So yeah, Dazzle asks, which characters who don't interact much would you like to see have storylines or more scenes together? Good question. That's hard. Because I'm thinking of like Peyton and Dan don't have much scenes together, but I have no interest of seeing that. Like Skills and Dan technically don't have scenes together, but who cares? Like there's certain characters, it's like, yeah, they don't have scenes together, but do we really need it? That's a hard one. I don't know. That's like a good question, but I feel like maybe like Brooke and Skills or something, we could have quite a good bit of back and forth. I feel like they have spoken before, but it's been like maybe 1 or 2 scenes, and that's mainly to do with Jamie, I feel, this season. Less mouth and Skills would be nice. So there's one. Someone pointed out, I didn't even really pick up on it until they mentioned it in a Patreon comment, but they said that Skills is at his worst when he's being friends with Mouth. And it's like, yeah, you know what, fair enough. Skills is actually at his worst as a character whenever he's just talking with Mouth. So that's unfortunate, but I don't know. That's a tricky one. It's a good question. Maybe like Deb and Lucas, I feel like could have quite a good bit of back and forth. I can't talk at the moment for some reason. Peyton and Dan, but no, because again, I feel like Brooke with anyone. Brooke could have good back and forth with any of the characters. We could have Brooke and Dan or something. That'd be kind of funny. I feel like she'd rip into him, and what could he do? And then finally, Gem JMH Vlogs just puts, are you ready for the best season of the show? And then season 6, fire. I think based on my dialogue for the past 5 minutes, you'd think I'm not ready. But maybe that, you know what it was? Is when Gabby said that she's scared for me to start the season. That's when it just started, you know, words start falling over themselves, and so maybe the fear is setting in. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm not mentally prepared for this season. I don't know what to expect. If that stalker comes back for Peyton, I'm going to cry. I'm going to throw my chair out the window. If that's what you mean by that, no, don't do it. Also, do it, but don't. Oh my god, that'd be scary. Eminem just returns. But yeah, they're all the questions. Thank you to everyone who asked a question. Like I say, if you do want to ask one for the next season, or for any show that I watch, that is, then you only have to be a $1 Patreon to do so. And you also get to vote in all the polls that we do, and I think that's the rewards at $1. You get to vote in all the polls, you get to see the schedule, but you can do that on YouTube, so it's not really a reward. And you can ask a question for every season of every show that I do. I think that's it. Yeah. Not a lot with $1, but there's a couple of cool things. You can pick which show I react to next, so that's pretty cool. So there you go. And films, you can vote for films, even though we've not done films in so long. I literally plan to do a film every week-ish, but Netflix have just been pumping out shows left, right, and centre. So I will get to shows. Right, let's get into the tier list and see where everyone ends up. Lucas, good luck. Alright, so keep in mind that some of these images are awful because, again, I've said it before, but I have to put in One Tree Hill Season 5 and then pick the character. So a lot of these are like characters with other characters, but for some shows it's just so hard to get an image. It shouldn't be, but it kind of is. Because a lot of them are like web files, so they're not actually JPEGs or PNGs, which obviously just makes it worse. But yeah, these are all the characters we have. I'll turn up the brightness bit because I can't actually see what I'm doing. This is the rankings based on season 4, so I've loaded it up, but I've actually used the same image for skills. I have, but they had 3 images for skills, and one of them was unusable, and the other one was worse than that. I don't know what's going on there, so that's sad. But who we got? Dan at number 1. I mean, obviously Dan's at number 1. Skills at number 2. Obviously, skills is at number 2. Peyton at 3. Peyton, bro. Peyton, what have you done? I don't blame Peyton. I blame Mog Schwein. That's it. I've used the same image for Deb as well. Great. I mean, that one's understandable, but skills is unfortunate. Deb's understandable. Yeah, that's sad. That's a sad sight, seeing Payne at 3. She deserved for season 4. She was incredible in season 4, but Lucas is fantastic, bro. Oh, he was so good in season 4. That was his best season. Then we went to maybe his worst. Nathan, Haley, they're consistently at the top, obviously. Yeah, Brooke down and really good. I remember just saying, like, the stories were so bad in season 4. Her storylines were bad. Her character was good, but my god, the storyline. Rachel, Karen, Chris, and Bevan. Oh, Bevan isn't in this. Neither is Chris. Neither is Karen. Neither is Rachel. All those aren't even in this tier list anymore. Cut. Like I say, Rachel and Karen and Bevan actually were in the season, but it was for like one episode. Bevan was one scene, so I can't count that. Whitey's gone as well, and Chase is gone. Wow, we've got a lot of characters from this, but we've added a lot more as well. So yeah, they were fine. Deb was pretty bad in season 4. Mouth in tragic. He was so close to being there again. No, he wasn't actually. No, he wasn't. Season 4, even before the last 3 episodes, he wasn't this bad. Yeah. Alright. This is who we have here. A lot of characters. Let's start with Mouth. Fuck it. Let's start with Mouth. Put on my shoe, no longer. But you do exist. I don't feel like he's done enough this season to really boost himself higher than this. He had a romance which we've seen a billion times before, but it wasn't as awful as all the other romances. And like I said, to be fair, his last 3 episodes where he like quit his job, he didn't give them the tape, and then when he told Maleficent that he loved her, it's kind of wholesome, I'll take it. He was okay, but everything else leading up to that, it wasn't bad like it has been before, other than the boss storyline where he's complaining even though he was late all the time. Other than that, he's not been super bad this season. I'll admit it. I don't like Mouth at all, clearly, but he's not been like down here bad. So you exist, and then we'll do Maleficent. I'd say she exists as well. A bit more likeable than Mouth for me. Actually, no, we'll put Mouth above. Yeah, I know. I'm surprised as well, but I don't know. I feel like Maleficent's just a bit bland by herself. She's fun with Mouth. I think they can do a lot with it. Not a lot, but they can do an alright amount with these 2 characters depending on what they do. But yeah, her as an actual character by herself isn't super interesting. But her and Mouth work. I'll admit it. They work. Let's do Mia. Exists. People really like her character, which is great. For me, I just think she's a bit over the top in her scenes. Not even so much the acting wise. I just think her character is just like, I get what they've tried to be like. Oh, she's like this quiet emo kid who's everyone spoke over, and now she's found her voice and she's like really happy. And it's like, I get it. It's good to see. I don't mind that. But as a character, I could take her in little bits here and there. She's fine. I don't even feel like as a character she's that interesting, even if you took away her over the top ways or anything. So yeah, Mia's fine. Nothing super bad about her. That's why she's not down here, but nothing great. And again, I understand people do like a character, which is fine, but not for me. This is, you wouldn't believe it. This is an image of Victoria. Is meant to be. Again, just like everyone else, apparently they have crappy images, and I don't want to scroll too far because I'm going to see spoilers. So this is the image of Victoria that we have. As a villain, pretty good. I felt like she got very samey though. Like they kind of cut her off at the perfect time actually, where it was just kind of more of like, oh, Victoria's just ripping into Brooke, ripping into everyone because it's what Victoria does, and it got very tedious. Tedious. Maybe didn't quite get to the tedious point, but it was starting to. I think if we had like another episode of it, it would have started to tread very similar ground. So as a villain, she is fine. I'm glad they finally gave us something to do with Brooke's parents. My lord, it was overdue. So, but likability wise, she's down here. As a villain, she goes up a little bit because she is a good villain, and you know I always take that into account. So, character wise, here. No, personality wise, likability wise, here. As a character, there. I'm trying to. That's Jamie, I think. The image of Jamie because Nathan's here, right? That's what I was trying to figure out. We'll save Jamie. Is that Lucas? Yeah, Lucas had actually bad images as well. Let's do Owen. Exists. A lot of these side characters existed. I liked him, but they just cut him out, bro. He was gone. He's like, yeah, we're done with it. He just disappeared. What the fuck? So Owen's gone, I guess. Well done. You didn't do great. I'll put you above Mia just because he had one episode where he's a little bit strange. I don't know what that was about, but yeah, I like that he was trying to help Rachel. I actually felt like him and Brooke had chemistry. I liked the actor. I like that he was friends with Chase, he was friends with Chase, so that was a nice little, not twist on it, but added something to it. And then he just disappeared. It was super unfortunate. I felt like they could have done quite a bit with Owen. Like the fact that he was an ex-addict as well, really built on his character quite a bit. And yeah, they just wasted it all. So that is a shame, but bye Owen. Nice knowing you. But he existed. I'd say Mouth and Maleficent were better. Nanny Carey. Likeability. Pretty low. I'd actually argue. She kidnapped a kid, and I'd still say she was more likeable than Victoria. That was wild. That Victoria was that frustrating to listen to. I think it's more because she was going in on Brooke. You don't go in on Brooke. You just don't do it. Says me, who's probably gone in on Brooke a million times. But yeah, as a villain, pretty good. I think they could have done more with her. Again, they just kind of cut it off. Very like it was build up, and then it was done. They built a bit of one episode of it all. I know that's kind of the point, but yeah, I just felt like we got rid of that storyline very quickly. So maybe she'll be the one who comes back in season 6. I'd put her, Nanny Carey. Probably. Oh, who's a better villain, Nanny Carey or Victoria? I think Nanny Carey, because that was part of my favourite storyline of the season, which was the whole babysitter storyline. Victoria was a good storyline as well, but that was more for Brooke's sake, I think. Who else shall we jump to? Quinton. Hello, Quinton. I like Quinton. I'm going to put him. There we go. I'm finding out they exist. I'm going to put him in solid. I think he could have been in fantastic, but he started to, Hopefully they don't do it again in season 6, assuming he's still in it. But the whole like, I'm quitting the team. I can't do this thing. I think they did it one other time. It was one time too many, but yeah, there was one episode in there that I was like, oh come on, we're doing this again. But then they wrapped that up within the same episode. So yeah, I like him. His personality is ups and downs for sure. Like when he's going on skills and Nathan and stuff, it's a bit like, okay, come on. Oh, and then like Haley in the first few episodes, obviously it's just like, oh, this guy's a dick. But then we built on him a bit more, and I felt like we made him fairly likeable towards the end of the season. And I liked his storyline as well. I think it kind of went hand in hand with what was going on with Nathan, and then seeing Lucas as an actual coach, I think, and skills as well as a side coach, worked really well in the storyline. So yeah, I'm going to keep him in solid for now. He was very close to being here, not quite as close to being in fantastic, but with a bit of work, maybe, we'll see. Let's do Deb. Kind of came in the last few episodes. She had sex with a clown. Maybe didn't have sex with him, but definitely hooked up with a clown. And then hooked up with Skills. But she was kind of funny this season. She wasn't as unlikable as she has been in previous. So I'll put her in solid, but below Quinton. Like I say, she was only in it for like 3 or 4 eps towards the end, so it's hard to get a real read on, you know, where a character's at, I guess, because Deb can be anywhere. She could be an alcoholic, she could be addicted to pills, she could be going in on Nathan, or she could be like the most wholesome mum in the world, based on season 1. Not in the world, but she's pretty good in season 1, so you never know. Let's do Lindsay. Fantastic. I'm not going to put her in fantastic. I don't think she was that good, but she was solid. I like that she stood her ground with Lucas, let him know how it was, didn't take shit from Peyton, which she kind of did at times, but she started to find a voice a bit more in that episode where they were locked in the library. But yeah, I feel like she wasn't as boring as I thought she was going to be, but I still don't think she was like super interesting. She wasn't boring, she wasn't super interesting. So she kind of slap bangs in the middle for me, but she kind of has a bit more of an edge into the likeable just because of how she dealt with the Lucas and Peyton storyline. She kept it cool throughout all of it. She never came down to like Lucas and Peyton's level, which I respected about her character, so I like Lindsay. I don't think we need to see her ever again though. All these other characters I think we could have more of. Lindsay, I don't think we need to see her again. I already thought she overstayed a welcome a bit after the wedding. She just kind of kept coming back and back and back. To be fair, it was Lucas going to see her, but yeah, she was still in the show longer than I think she needed to be. I don't know. But it wasn't too bad. It was only like a few scenes technically. I think it's just more the storyline went on a lot longer, but that's Lucas's fault, not Lindsay. We'll say the main, so let's do Jamie. Jamie's got to be fantastic. Wholesome as fuck. When like he was first in the show, I mean, he kind of won everyone over very quickly because he was just super wholesome, but I felt like he could have been that super annoying kid that you get in a show and you're just like, oh my god, we've actually got to put up with this for like 18 episodes. I mean, again, assuming Jamie's going to be in the rest of the show now, so I mean, knowing Haley and Nathan's parenting style, he could probably drown halfway through this season, who knows, or get ran over. That could happen. Jamie could get ran over because we've got to have a car accident at some point this season, obviously. But yeah, you're just cool. I think like some of the conversations Jamie was having with other characters was a little bit like, okay, this is like an adult writing a script for a child. It's like it didn't really work, but it kind of did as well. It's fine. It's just like he's having proper adult conversations. It's like, okay, I get what you're trying to do, but yeah, I think Jamie was cool. I think as a character, it's like, what can you really do with him? But what did they, other than obviously him being involved in Nathan and Haley as a storyline, I think he had nightmares of Dan, and then he really wanted to see Dan throughout the whole season, pretty much, which I think was actually a good storyline. So storyline wise, no problems really with Jamie, and as a character, he's actually pretty cool. So, right, the mains. Let's just do Peyton. Fuck it, we're doing Peyton. Ugh, that's my face actually. Peyton's putting the exact face I pulled every time she was on screen in season 5. Oh my god. Look again where she was this time last season. Yeah, bro. She was at number 3 and she's gone down to poo on my shoe. Awful. Such a bad character this season. I can't think of many good scenes that she had. Just the way she went in on Lindsay was so unlike her character. It's so unlike her character. It's so annoying. And like there are moments and scenes in shows that I react to where I'm like, oh, okay, we'll just blame like Skills being weird with Maleficent. I was like, okay, we're going to pretend that didn't happen because that is not Skills' character. We'll, you know, I don't know. I feel like if Skills had kept doing that over and over again, then it's like, okay, yeah, that's his character now, I guess, that he's that fucking weirdo. But it was a one-time thing, and then I feel like the same with Friends, where like Chandler says some weird shit. I'm like, okay, it's just like a one line. We'll blame it on the writers, not so much the character. But when it's like something that a character does, where it's like constant over, and obviously it depends on how big of an extreme what the character does. Like Dan killing Keith, for example, it was like super extreme. You can't just be like, oh, we'll blame that on the writers, not Dan. So I know that's part of his character. So it does depend on what the character does. But when a character is doing something that's unlike their character, but they do it over and over and over and over again, it's like, okay, well, that's just their character now then. And Peyton, over and over and over and over again this season, was an absolute dick. Was just an absolute twat towards Lindsay. I very unlikable. I didn't care for any of her friendships or any of her side storylines, like her being a music manager, whatever you call it. But I think that's a good storyline for Peyton. I just can't get invested because I don't like Peyton anymore. So she's got a lot of work to do in season 6. We'll see where that goes. We might, while we're here at the bottom, might as well throw Lucas into the mix. I'd say Lucas is a little bit better than Peyton just because of his coach storyline. I think the coach was actually Lucas at his best the entire season. Anything to do with Lindsay or Peyton was awful. Him having a whine and a whinge about Peyton because she wasn't ready to get married is ridiculous. Like, none of the drama that happened this season even needed to happen if Lucas was just, mature in any sense of the imagination. But he's not. He's just a fucking idiot. So, Lucas, you're down there with Peyton as well. Let's remind ourselves where Lucas was this time last season. He was here. This is the highest Lucas has ever been, and then this is the lowest he's ever been. So, yeah, the 2 worst characters this season easily. Then we'll do Dan. I'm not gonna quite put him in goated this season. Yeah, I'm gonna put him at the top of Fantastic because it is still Dan. Like, he's still got some great dialogue in there, but him getting ran over, which is not even his fault, I guess, but him getting ran over was ridiculous. And him like threatening to kill the, what was it, a priest or something? I don't know who that guy was, but threatening to kill him was ridiculous. But like then the bits of Dan like coming in with the big gravestone over Keith and a big picture of himself was great, and then telling Deb she looks awful, and then who's this clown, all that shit. It's just Dan at his best. And then him wanting to bond, and then more of like serious Dan where he like tells Nathan that he did try to kill himself in the prison. Stuff like that really adds to his character more. Like, he still has like old school Dan in there, and then new school Dan merged into one new Dan. And obviously I had to pick the image of him with his prison Mexican cartel beard or whatever that is. I'm kind of glad he got rid of it, but also I kind of wish he rocked that for like the whole season. That would have been kind of cool. But yeah, I don't feel he's been as strong as he has in previous seasons, but that's fair as well because he wasn't even in 2/3 of the season. So yeah, that's whereas like every other season obviously he was in it for the entire seasons. Pretty much, yeah. And we've got the best characters here now. So we'll start with Hayley. As always, super lovable, super wholesome. I love the storyline she gave with Nathan early on. Then we kind of dropped that very quickly. Then it's her and Nathan had more problems. And then it's her being a mum to Jamie. And then it's her rekindling her love for music and getting back into that. All good stuff. I just feel like Hayley's always consistent. It's hard to not like Hayley. There have definitely been times this season where I've disagreed with some of the things she's said, but that's with every character. So yeah, you just can't. I can't not move Hayley from there unless she does something really bad, which was season 2. That's the only other time she's not been and ghosted, but that was just a strange time for Hayley. We'll say that. I love Hayley to pieces. But like when we do our overall tier list, she's like gotta be up there, unless she really fucks it up in the next 3-4 seasons. Brooke, yeah, goated. I'm not gonna say as good as Hayley. Actually, storyline wise, I don't know. I think the first half of the season Hayley was better. Second half of the season Brooke was better. I think when the storyline started of her wanting to adopt, I was a bit uninterested in it. But then seeing Brooke actually do that, and then being able to bring out some of the best acting that Sophia Bush has done so far, I think made me appreciate the storyline a little bit more. I don't think they can continue that and just have her adopt again at the start of the season. We'll have to wait and see. But Yeah, I think Brooke had better storylines, but Hayley was more like, I don't know. Because then you had the Victoria stuff as well, so that was really good, and finally as well. So yeah, I'm going to put Brooke above Hayley. But I do love Hayley. Obviously, she's at the top still. So then we'll do Nathan. I'm going to put below. Definitely a bit of an idiot this season. He didn't do anything super bad because he like could have full on cheated on Hayley with Nanny Carrier, which was like a possibility for a minute there. So it's between above Hayley or below Hayley. Because I feel like as their relationship, Hayley was definitely more likable in that whole situation. But then Nathan has like the Quinton stuff and the Dan stuff, whereas I feel like Hayley didn't have that. Like Nathan was involved in 3 of the best storylines of the season. Dan coming back, Nanny Carey, and him wanting to rekindle his passion for basketball, and the side plot of that being Quinton. So, whereas Hayley only had like the Nanny Carey stuff, but she wasn't even really part of the Nanny Carey stuff until right at the end. So I'm gonna say Nathan, based on the storylines. Likeability, definitely Hayley, but Nathan as a character and entertainment value that he got from his character this season, I'm gonna say as number 3. And then we've got Skills at number 1. I love him. I'm sorry, I love Skills to pieces. What was it he said to Jamie? Was that, I'll play with you, little man? Oh, he was so wholesome. I love him to pieces. I know, like, you could argue that yes, he didn't have the biggest and most interesting storylines of this season. Like, what, he was a side coach, got like upset at Quinton for one episode, and then called Hayley out for a bit, and then he got a bit worried that Hayley and Nathan wanted nothing to do with him because of the kidnapping, and then at the end we have him hooking up with Deb. So yeah, the storylines there were like decent. I don't think any of them were really bad. I don't think any of them were incredible, but every scene he's in, I'm entertained by. Bottom one, I'm entertained by him. I think he's the most likable out of all of them for me, and I think his storylines were good enough for me to put him at number 1. So, and it's my tier list. I love Skills. I love him to pieces. So, just give him a little bit more, and then we'll be okay. I think based on the screen time we get of him, which isn't as much as obviously a lot of these characters, I'm always in love and entertained by his character. So, yeah, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, which is, obviously fine. But from my point of view, I can't put him below that. It doesn't feel right. Skills has to be at number 1. But that is based on actual things as well. It's a little bit of bias in there, but it is whenever we do these, there's always a little bit of bias in there. There's a little bit of bias, but I think, like I say, storylines were good enough to be there. His likability is through the roof, and entertainment-wise, I'm always entertained by his character. So, all those 3 mixed into one, and then a little bit of spice of bias in there, adds up for him to be at number 1. And he was at number 2 anyway, so you all should have really seen this coming. Just saying, you should have seen this coming. But yeah, there we go. That is the tier list based on season 5. We've got Payne and Luke's at the bottom, obviously. Victoria, Nanny Carey, Mia, Owen, Maleficent, and Mouth. Mouth, you're not at the bottom. Well done. Can we get you to solid by the end of this season? It's possible, Mouth. I'm saying you've got the groundwork here. Karen physically and mentally abused her kid, and she made it out from the bottom at one point. So you haven't done that at least, so maybe you can make it into solid. We'll see. Deb didn't get much screen time, so it's kind of hard to get a read on her, but the screen time she had was solid. Quinton did well. He could have been in... I was going to say he could have been in Fantastic, but I don't think he could have. Could have very easily been in They Existed, but they brought it back towards the end. Lindsay was good based on what her storyline actually was. Jamie was wholesome. Dan was less wholesome, but was funny. And he's just, entertainment-wise, you can't go wrong with Dan. He's the most entertaining character you're ever going to get in the show, full stop. Not always the most likeable. That's obvious, but entertainment-wise, he's incredible. Hayley, love her. Nathan, love you a little bit less than Hayley at the moment, but your storylines were better. Brooke, incredible this season. I think minus a couple of things with Brooke. Overall, I think she was really, really good. Way better than she was last season. Oh my god. Way better. I mean, look, she was here last season for me, and then just gone there, and then we've got skills at number 1. So yeah, there we go. Right, I'm going to jump into the first episode. We've rambled on long enough, as we do at the start of all of these seasons, because there's a lot to say about One Tree Hill. And yeah, I'm excited for this season. I'm very, very excited. So episode 1 of season 6. Let's do this. Weird transition, probably look different. I actually filmed the Q&A and the tier list about 5 days ago. And then Stranger Things came out. But I was going to film the reaction, and I realised how bad the lighting had gotten because I was filming that kind of late. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to just wait. And I had spoken a lot for like 45, 50 minutes, maybe not that long. I don't know how long exactly it was, but it felt like a long time. And I was a bit, okay. I was like ready to do the episode, and then it kind of, the lighting on top of just speaking loads, I was kind of like, I'll just save it for another day. And then Stranger Things came out, so then I was doing that. I had a busy weekend, and now it's Monday. I've just done Westworld, and I'm ready to, again, this it's me saying, oh, I just did Stranger Things. By the time this one goes on YouTube, you're all like, bloody hell, is that how far behind we are? Yes, you are kind of far behind YouTube, but I mean, this always happened. So now I'm ready to film episode 1 of season 6. So yeah, we've kind of done a time jump, I guess you could say. We've done a bit of a time jump here. So episode 1, let's do this. There we go, big reveal. Who did he call? We'll probably find out in like the last scene.
3 simple cards, 3 beautiful ladies.
Ah.
Real simple, son. All you gotta do
Right.
is pick one.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Just follow the heart.
Of course. What? Hey!
I'm your husband. I'm supposed to give you flowers.
No, that's not what this
I
is.
wanted to make sure I liked them.
No. This is like a. This is like a what if he had called Brooke. There's no way he called Brooke. I know what you're trying to do.
Happy anniversary, wife.
Thank
No,
you, husband.
no.
I love them.
No, I'm not buying this.
You ever miss Trio?
Of course. I miss our friends.
This is a what if.
I do love you, Brooke Davis.
And
Yeah.
I love you, Lucas Davis.
No.
Scott.
Nope.
I'm
Nope.
gonna love you even more when I see
I mean, fine if it. I just don't mind. I don't buy it. It's giving the fans of Brooke and Lucas a little bit of a here you go.
Happy anniversary.
And we cut to Lindsay.
Why,
I know,
is
that's
your man
like,
here
what if
again?
it was Peyton? I told
He
you!
just put on his pants and jumped out the window. But he gave you an anniversary gift
very
pass.
well done.
And there is a chance I could be rocking some slightly dirty girl lingerie underneath these jeans.
Wow.
I think I need to sit down.
Alright, fucking hell, where's Wally? Now we cut to
You
if he
okay?
married Whitey, or a green screen, or whipping out. Oh my
How
god,
come
that
after
looks
your marriage
fucking
you're still
incredible.
so sweet to me?
Because you're you.
Wow, yeah.
Because you deserve it.
I better get ready.
Yeah, that was the least amount of chemistry out of the 3 what ifs.
It's easy with us, isn't it?
Boring is the answer you're looking for. Boring. Hey Lindsay, what? It's really boring being with you, innit? And he's dressed like Whitey. What if
There
he'd
he is.
proposed to Deb?
Just follow the heart.
Okay, but don't cut away this time. Oh, I don't know, because you didn't do... The right one.
Come on, Lucas. Just
Not
pick one.
Haley. Marry Haley, bro.
You gotta
What the
pick one,
fuck?
Luke.
You can do it, Uncle Lucas.
James is still
Pick
here
one.
then. Oh god.
Pick one.
Oh my god.
Just pick one.
Bro, god, what the fuck? He's tripping balls.
Well,
I said the
well.
right one, so I'm just...
Looks like you found your queen. Not many
Too
do.
easy. Too easy.
Guess I always knew.
Yeah, alright. Imagine actually having that. He looks constipated. This is such a weird intro to the season. Yes, Dan. Get crumpled.
Oh, I got it.
Just after he helped the poor. I know the
I'll
poor,
give you a
just the
hand
old.
here.
Look, I'm at the airport and I got 2 tickets to Vegas.
Do you want to get
Do you
married?
want to get married tonight?
No.
You folks be careful. You could get yourself killed out here.
I can't be honest. Was Jamie driving? Is that the twist now?
Because she showed up. And she sure is pretty.
Oh, who was it? Here we go, big reveal. Peyton, it's Peyton, it's Peyton. Yeah. There you go. Absolute spiffing shocker. She's gonna get run over in the airport by a plane.
I know this sounds crazy.
Fucking hell, Lucas!
But you're my mess.
What?
And I love you.
Oh, okay. Whatever, bro. I bet everyone's screaming at this, being like, oh my god! Right, whatever. Oh yeah. What is this arty bullshit? Yeah, I'm not surprised in any way, shape, or form. Sometimes the predictable, obvious choice is just the right one.
And don't bother calling me back. Just talk to my lawyer. I have
Chase!
nothing left to say to
Chase! It's Chase!
you, bitch.
Yeah, Fez. Okay, well, it's just
Well, I
Victoria's
have a few
back.
things.
Inviting you in, you Botoxed vampiress.
You see, this is what I'm
Yeah,
talking
you know
about.
what, Fez?
You're such a child and a fairly stupid one at that.
Go
It doesn't matter
away.
that you fired me.
It was so nice not
I'm
having
your
you
legal
around.
partner, Missy.
They'll know it. And you'll be the one who's out on her nip and tucked ass.
We'll see about that.
No, we're not having this. Go away. There's no way Victoria wins this. She'll whip out some bullshit where she will.
Or it's goodbye company. Hello, community college. If
Oh,
you
no.
can get in.
She's a millionaire, no? Brooke's still rich. It's like they've forgotten that. Brooke is still loaded. She could just set up a new business, which is 100% hers. Do what? Yes! Tap and skill!
Oh,
Okay,
#1 ship.
we just gonna have to go public.
yeah.
I'm gonna say, Nate, look, I'm dating your mom.
Yeah, that's
Sleeping with her, doing all kind of freaky stuff to her.
right.
So, you want to tell him or should I?
Yeah, Nathan's gonna probably kill you. Nathan's going to murder Skills. We'll just get that out of the way. Maleficent's still here.
What you doing?
Working on
Buddy.
an idea for clothes over Bros.
Buddy.
Totally gonna fix Brooke's inventory problems.
I quit my job.
And sorted your hair out on the way home, I guess.
Well, they have that sports job for me, but I have to be there in 3 days.
I'll tell Brooke I'm leaving.
Okay, jeez.
Life's sudden sometimes.
I'm glad she's sticking around, so that means these two are going to go for it.
Yes, it's real.
Oh my god, the plane's going to crash.
And if it's not, I don't ever want to wake up from this.
Oh, no, I think it's going to be a big dream at the end. I know, Dan. I agree. Oh, he didn't die, did he? Shocker. Jesus. Dan, you've lost all of your limbs. Oh my god, is he actually? No, he's still got his leg. What the fuck was that? Is that an alien?
That when I hit you with that car, that I might have killed you.
Oh, is this going to be like a big mystery of who?
But what fun would that have been?
Is it Nutty? I can't be arsed. I can't be bothered, of course. That was on purpose. Oh, I love that.
There's a mirror on the ceiling. It's so romantic.
Yeah, you can look at fucking Lucas's arse. What? When they're doing missionary. What a treat paying.
You tired?
No, I've never felt more awake.
Good. That's what cocaine will do to you.
Hey, come here.
I could live off of that. I
What?
miss that.
Lucas's saliva?
And I think your ass is gonna look really great in that mirror.
Told
Let's
you.
find out.
We've already got the sex position sorted, apparently. The obvious one.
Dreaming now, you know that? NBA's a pipe dream, son. Might as well give it up.
No, it's not. I'll make it.
No, it's not. Got him.
Hey, Mama. What? You should have seen Dad
Haley
last night.
Doe.
Really don't think that's your best color.
Uh,
The top you just stole from me?
Oh.
Okay, I
Fair,
don't know
fair
what you're
enough.
talking about.
Really?
Fair enough.
Wait, hey!
Shoplift much?
Look, I didn't.
I love revenge. Or revenge.
It is just not my friggin' day.
Yeah, she probably hires some security here now.
There it is, off the glass.
Have we got Quentin here?
It's pretty.
Good, yeah, okay. We got pretty much every character from season 5, so.
Apparently, my mom's dating some freak she met online.
Really? Why I gotta be a freak though? I mean, maybe he's a nice guy.
Right.
Well, he is
Nice
a nice
porn
guy.
site. Hooking up with some internet tool, man. This just really takes the cake.
I don't know. She's done worse than that.
I'll find out who this jerk is, and when I do, it's gonna get ugly.
Okay. I feel like Nathan really wouldn't actually give that much of a shit, considering how blasé he's been about Deb beforehand. Yes, Quentin!
No, you ready? Alright, do what I do, alright?
We're doing a random dance number, and Nathan just stood there.
What's up, what's up? There it is.
Nice. Yeah, there's. Back to hospital.
My boss, so I'm afraid I can't help you.
Can't
Yes, loyalty.
or won't?
Won't.
You don't like me, do you?
No, who likes you?
Because you feel I've mistreated you.
No.
I think even the devil will be like, "No, I'm good. I don't want to go away."
You're gonna pay for that.
Okay. She's gonna murder her. She could be like the murderer of the season or something. She can't really pay for it when she quits in 3 days, though, can she? So, Dan, it's okay. Everyone recovers from a car accident after 3 episodes. That's your limit.
I wouldn't recommend that.
I can't believe this.
I mean, and if you can't speak, you definitely can't scream.
Oh, it starts tickling his feet. In space, no one can hear Nanny Carrie.
I actually wanted to tell you and Peyton about it at the same time. Is she here?
I have not seen her.
Yeah, she's looking at Luke's fucking arse in the mirror, apparently.
Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Peyton.
Don't worry about
Convenient
me.
timing.
I'm fine. Lucas.
No.
I know, plot twist. I didn't believe it either.
I just can't believe you actually had your very own psycho stalker.
Yeah, the trauma, Lucas. I think trauma is a part of her life, but that's fine.
Did you think it was a nightmare? Because it is for you.
Torture him.
You know, when I think how Jamie and I would be together right now if it
Oh
wasn't
my god,
for
watch
you,
starts picking at his feet.
if I ever came near Jamie,
Oh, damn.
kill me. Didn't
What's
you?
going on? I couldn't get an idea, but...
You strangled me and you took Jamie. And I suppose
I
you
can't be
honest.
awesome.
I've been biding my time.
Mm-hmm. Finding a
Yeah,
time to
well.
what? Run a movie. Could have done that at any point. You don't fuck with Dan, though.
Some hot stuff, baby, this evening.
What's going on? This show's just full of psychopaths. Ah, that's gonna leave a mark. Did it leave a mark? No? Okay. Just stung a little bit, I'm sure. Dan!
Go away.
I want to know who he is, Mom. Mr. Porno. Give me a name.
Mr. Porter! Why do you care?
Jamie's home. If he sees you topless, he's gonna be scarred for life. I know I am.
Oh.
Man, that was close. I told you this was a bad idea.
Why are you here?
You gotta go.
How was he hidden that well? What's just happened?
I'll get it settled in Omaha. It's
Matt's leaving?
Brooke.
No, we'll still follow his storyline.
It's really
so.
gonna hurt.
Funny thing about
Oh my god, we're about to know Carrie instantly. It's like I'm watching Audition on Drew Hill's version of it.
sweet Nanny Carrie get to be your nurse. Well, rest assured, I am a very good caretaker.
Yeah, how are you still... You're wanted, aren't you? Aren't you wanted? Damn, punch her.
Agony.
He starts shaking. He's like the Hulk. Ooh. Damn.
Dead.
Damn. Just an empty needle stuck in him. Go on, Dan, get revenge. Move some muscles. Here we go. Look. Look. Yes! Dan's ready to get his revenge. Cut to Jamie breaking it down.
Last time I saw her, she was swimming topless in the pool.
What?
Yeah.
Nathan's
God,
never
where's
spoken
it
about his
been?
mum this much. I
Naked
don't know
nannies
what's
in the
going on.
pool.
This is their wedding episode, like, really?
White trash Vegas wedding material.
Pretty much.
Wow. Heart skips a beat. Breathtaking material.
Okay. I can't. Lucas gives me such an ick. I was really into these two in season 4, and now I'm like, you've ruined it, so sorry. I know everyone's into this episode, I'm sure, because of these two, but you can't make me hate two characters and then think I'm going to be on board with the episode after. What the fuck is happening? What? Is that Dan? Oh, is that... Okay. Oh, Jesus. This is everyone from Tree Hill in about 10 years.
What the hell was I thinking? I mean, this is supposed to be...
Yeah, get out. Come on. No, we can't do it. We can't.
This...
Hey.
What the fuck?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nice. Yeah, great. Back with the banjos.
Are you leaving me murder with that?
I guess
Yeah,
so.
don't kiss her without her permission again, mouth.
The boy toy auction.
Oh god, what was that, like season
Friendship
1?
right here.
Mid-season
For
1?
most of my life,
When Mouth was
that
actually a
the
good
greatest time of my
character?
life.
When do you go?
Tonight.
Is he leaving the show, or is it like he's just moving place?
Goodbye, Scarecrow.
Scarecrow?
I'm gonna miss you most.
When was that thing?
All right.
Get out of here.
Oh, he didn't actually try and kiss her well. I've always wanted to do that. I've not forgotten, Mouth. As good as you were in the last 3 eps. Yes, break the bed. Would he fall on the needle? Oh my god. Go on, Dan. She's gonna walk in, so obvious. He's gonna almost get freedom and won't. Is he in like an actual prison? Well, if this isn't even actually a hospital. Yeah, where is he? What the fuck? Is he on a boat? That's a house.
Well, well.
Oh, Dan! Where the fuck? That's some, like, misery shit. Fuck, that's creepy. It's like, yeah. Good luck. He's gonna have to get his power back and punch her or something, I don't know. One punch from Dan will knock anyone else. What's this song? I never catch you with sexy clothes. What the fuck? I'm firing you, go be with Mouth.
You're fired.
Yep.
What? You're fired. Now go to Omaha.
Yep.
So now you have to get your wacky ass out of my sight.
Wacky ass. Bloody hell. If she gets fired, that's not going to look great on her resume, no? She's leaving out the back office. That's not... Well, I feel like Mouth's actually leaving. I feel like it feels like a bit of a goodbye.
I tell him you said goodbye, though. You know he's proud of you, right? We all are.
I feel like Mouth's actually leaving.
I'm gonna miss this place.
I think, is he actually gone? Is he actually leaving the show? That's what it feels like.
You turned my son into a goof, Q.
Jamie's doing Fortnite dances before it was a thing. I respect it.
Okay, open your eyes.
Is he getting married in the hotel room? What?
This is the room.
Oh, this is the room.
Proposed to
Okay.
me
How did you
4 years
sneak
ago.
them? How did you sneak him here?
Hi.
Actually spawned out of nowhere.
You're coming to Omaha?
If you'll still have me.
Well, no, I bought a 1-bedroom apartment. Even though they're sleeping in the same bed, so that still won't actually matter. Yes, Haley! Haley's a fucking icon. I won't hear otherwise.
I've been thinking about our little partnership, and I've come to a decision.
Go on.
I am this company. I
Oh.
am the reason it is successful.
Tell her.
Do you
Pipe it
understand
down.
me?
She won't
So if
back
you
down
wanna
now, I
fight,
feel.
You got it.
I feel like Victoria's going to be such a little shit this season. I can't want his dance trapped here. Well, we needed a cliffhanger for everyone. Mr. Murderer, that's a bit harsh.
Doing this for some time now. First, I hit
Yeah, good Dan impression.
your car.
Right,
And now-
oh wow, wow.
Here we are.
Okay. Go on, Dan, use your superpowers.
I am going to do the world a favor and kill you.
I'll be mad if you kill Dan. We don't kill Dan off. Oh, jeez.
Aren't you Grandpa Dan? Yes, you are. Yes.
Oh my god. This show's ridiculous. I love it though. I love it. Oh, is he gonna crack? Oh my god. Oh my god. Imagine Mouth flips the car and dies. If we don't have a car crash this season, I feel like maybe part of me would be disappointed at this point.
I love you.
Yes.
Okay, wow, Jesus.
Didn't let me ask you.
Yes, baby. Yes. God, I love you.
Well, it don't count if you don't ask the question, Peyton. I mean, yay, finally. No, to be fair, yes, finally. Victoria's going to burn this place to the ground. Victoria's over lighter. Say goodbye to clothes over bros. Oh, wait, what the fuck just happened? Is that Victoria? Victoria, calm down! What the fuck? Alright, I guess she's pissed, but does she have to do that? Fucking hell, Victoria. Oh, no, it's not Victoria, don't worry. Before I get comments like, oh my god, it's clearly not Victoria. I'm going to go with its mouth. Oh, yeah, we'll go with its mouth. Fuck it, I don't even know. Is it going to be that? I mean, it's clearly a guy dressed in guy's clothes. Because it could have been that woman who stole something. Is he always going to be a character that we don't know? Who has like a vendetta against Brooke? What if Victoria sent that person to do that? A part of my brain is going there that Victoria sent someone to do this, to put Brooke out of commission, so Victoria then has to you know, step up to the mantle and all this shit. Don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just saying it's a possibility. It's a possibility. But yeah, there we go, guys. That is episode 1 of One Tree Hill season 6. Pretty good intro into the 6th season. I think a lot of this was obviously Lucas and Peyton getting back together and getting married and all that. It's all engaged. And that's fine. Like I say, I'm glad it's... I'm kind of at two roads of it because I'm glad they're finally just getting on with those two because it's like, okay, come on. But I feel like they ruined Lucas and Peyton individually, not even as a romance, but kind of as a romance as well, but ruined them both as individual characters so much in season 5, hence the tier list, that I just, yeah, their romance, I can't be arsed with at the moment. I'm not saying I won't ever be on board with Lucas and Peyton again, because I don't know that. Maybe they'll win me over at some point, but at the moment, them like being happy and getting back together and all this is like, okay, cool. I'm glad we're finally here, but I'm not feeling the romance personally as much as I'd want to. Because I really liked their romance in season 4. I think those two had great chemistry. They do still have chemistry, admittedly, but it's just a romance that I'm not super interested in anymore. Yeah, they just suck as characters. They're just shit. Not overall. I think overall they're actually both very good characters, but I think we've just come off 18 episodes in a row of them both being awful. So we've got a lot of work to do before I'm back on board with those two characters. But we shall see. I'm not going to say I'm completely switched off from those two anymore, but we've got a bit of work to do. Other than that, I'd say that's the only really real negative, and that's more like of a personal thing because I think the storyline was fine. It's just more, I'm not that into it. Nanny Carey returning, torturing Dan. That's something. One Tree Hill is, since like season 4 has just gone more wild as it goes on, and this is one of those things which I'm like, you know what, it's ridiculous, but I'll take it. Dan, I feel like he's going to be there for maybe not a while, maybe like I reckon up 3, 4, definitely up 2. Up 2, she's going to come up with a plan to get Jamie back. Then that'll probably happen at the end of up 2. Then up 3, probably maybe Dan breaks out there, or up 4 or something like that. We'll see. I like Devon's skills. I'm glad they're kind of going along with that more, because I figured maybe they cut it off very early off in season 6 or something, but no, seems like it's going to be an actual storyline, which I'm happy about. I don't know why, I just am. Mouth leaving as well. I was kind of like thought it'd just be like a thing of him like almost leaving and not actually doing it, but it feels like this was kind of a goodbye, at least for now, to Mouth's character as well as Maleficent. I feel like he's probably going to come back at some point. We still have like 3 seasons left, but maybe that's him done for season 6. I don't know. Or if he does come back in season 6, maybe it'll be like at the midway point. I think Mouth, or we are just going to see his storyline in Omaha or wherever they're going, which I don't care about. Like I say, Mouth had 3 good episodes in a row at the end of the last season, but it's still not enough for me to be like, okay, yeah, now I want to follow his storyline in Omaha. I don't care that much. And then bit of a cliffhanger there with Brooke. We'll see what's kind of going on there. I think Nathan and Haley were both pretty good this episode. Yeah, overall I think it was a decent start into the season. What carried it was definitely Deb's skills and Dan, I'd say, those 3. Brooke was pretty good. Haley and Nathan were pretty good. Lucas and Peyton were good. I just don't care, so not that great. So yeah, rating wise, I'll go I think 7 out of 10. I think base 7 is a pretty decent premiere. I'm intrigued to see the heights to which this season goes on based on your guys' comments that this is going to be a pretty wild season. So I'm intrigued to see where it goes for sure. But thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of the episode down below in the comments. And if you do want the early and uncut reactions to One Tree Hill, then link to the Patreon page will be in the description. And one of the comments down below where they will be probably about 2/3 of the way through season 7 by the time this one's on YouTube, something like that. And I'll see you next time for episode 2. Until then, take care. Peace.